Gang.
Nästa
This one.
Bredäng.
S-Town versus B-Block. These two neighboring suburbs have been severely affected over the past 5 years. Before that, one of Sweden's longest ongoing gang street beefs was linked to these areas on the south side of Stockholm, Sweden. About 40 shootings and over 20 bodies are connected to Stockholm. Of Sweden's longest
40?
ongoing gang street beefs was linked to these areas on the south side of Stockholm, Sweden. About 40 shootings and over 20 bodies are connected to a long line of wars and internal conflicts within these criminal networks. The issues of violence and drugs in the neighborhood Bredäng are widely known, including a past conflict between gangs in Bredäng and the neighborhood of Osberga, which has been one of the most violent in Stockholm, with several murders and attempted murders. Several people with ties to Bredäng have been suspected and convicted of crimes related to this conflict. Historically, the Bredäng gang had a strong connection to Bandidos Motorcycle Club gang, as several key figures in the Bredäng gang became full members of the Bandidos biker gang. The police have also identified clear link-ups between Bredäng and other gangs. The neighborhood of Sätra has historically been classified as its own gang with somewhat older criminals, known as Sätra Elders by police. On April 11, 2019, 18-year-old Herman and 20-year-old Hakim, the source for the reference H in rap songs, music videos, and gang pictures, were found naked and shot to death in a basement storage room in an apartment complex in Sätra, southern Stockholm. According to songs, music videos, and gang pictures, were found naked and shot to death in a basement.
Why were they naked though? Like, if you're gonna kill him, why would you want to sit him naked? That's kind of
storage room in an apartment complex in Sätra, southern Stockholm. According to the prosecutor, on April 10th, the perpetrators arranged to meet the victims, then forced them into a basement room. There, the victims were forced to strip naked and enter a narrow basement corridor with no escape routes. The naked men were then forced into a sitting position before being shot to death with 9 shots. 2 guns were used, likely a pistol and a revolver. Herman was hit by 4 shots, 3 in the head and 1 in the torso, and Hakim was hit by 4 shots. 2 guns were used, likely a pistol and a revolver. Herman was hit by 4 shots, 3 in the head and 1 in the torso, and Hakim was hit by 4 shots, 2 in the head, 1 in the arm, and 1 in the torso. The police investigation indicates that in connection with the double murder, where the 2 younger errand boys from Sätra were humiliated and murdered in a basement, suspicions were directed at a leading individual within Sätra Elders. His name was Aram. Days later, on April 13, 2019, 24-year-old Aram was shot to death in Sätra. At an apartment building, some people broke a window to the entrance and got in around 4 a.m. on Saturday. They then shot Aram through the apartment door with a Kalashnikov. 3 dark-clad and masked men were seen running away from the apartment when the commotion in the building ceased. After the murders in 2019, more serious violent acts occurred, and another person connected to Sätra Elders was murdered. On June 20, 2021, a 27-year-old man related to one of the Sätra Elders gang members was shot at an outdoor pub in Sätra. The victim was sitting at the pub just before 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening when 2 young men masked and dressed in black suddenly ran up to the table and started shooting the man in the back with a pistol each. The victim was hit by several shots and died on the spot. Another man in his 40s was hit by a stray bullet, as he was completely innocent and happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just a year later, both guns used in this murder and other gang shootings are used as props in the Bredäng rapper Yo-Yo's music video. The rapper Yo-Yo and some of his fellow gang members from the Bredäng gang are convicted of gun possession. After 2 Sätra Elders gang members were stopped by police and then charged but partially acquitted in 2020 for planning to shoot 2 leading figures in the Bredäng gang. But partially acquitted in 2020 for planning to shoot 2 leading figures in the Bredäng gang, known as Blackie and Manolo, at Blackie's birthday party that was taking place outside in Sätra on August 1, 2020. After this event, according to the police, Sätra Elders...
Nah, nigga, it's really a GTA server out there. Oh, God, damn. Bro, hey, you leave that life. You gotta go that way, man. That's the thing now. Shit is crazy. Like these niggas is just like setting each
Others
other
seemed
up.
to
Like,
leave
it's
the area.
literally
Several Bredeng and Bandidos
GTA
members
server.
were also present when the police managed to thwart the murder attempts of everybody at the party. According to the police, one motive for the crime was that Blackie was suspected of the torture murder in Spain in 2018, where 2 men were tortured, stabbed, and shot.
tortured.
One of the
stabbed,
victims
and
died,
stabbed.
the
What
other
the
miraculously
fuck?
survived and was later suspected of wanting revenge against the Bredeng and Bandidos members. Blackie was held in custody for a long time, suspected of involvement in the brutal torture case in Spain, but was released. After the 2019 murders, the police believe that the Bredeng gang has controlled drug trafficking in the Satra neighborhood with
They
the help of the
filmed it?
Satra
That's
youths as
what-
errand
what
boys.
the fuck? How you
Several
gonna film
individuals
that,
assessed
though?
as
Like,
part of the
that's
Satra
hot.
youth's constellation were observed by police in
Like, if you're gonna do some shit that's gonna send you to jail, why would you record it? Like, that's literally telling the feds, come and get me. Like, I did it. That's like, at that point, you might as well just FaceTime yourself while you do it. Like, what?
Bredeng and vice versa, which was not the case before when Satra elders controlled the Satra neighborhood. The connection between Satra and Bredeng is now clear, but the constellations are not considered part of the same criminal network. Among other things, there are reports of a monetary debt that Satra youths owe to Bredeng, that individuals within Satra youths are described as the neighbors or the kids, and that Bredeng is reluctant to help out in conflicts that Satra youths have with individuals and other gangs. The previously most prominent and older members in the Bredeng gang, Bredeng elders, have since 2021-2022 been abroad. They've been either wanted on the run, including Manolo and Blackie,
Damn.
and several have been convicted and are serving long prison sentences. Several from the younger generation in Bredeng gang were released in early 2023 after serving prison sentences for weapons offenses.
Well, like, where do you get a grenade from, though? That's the thing. Like, fuck, he think it's in GTA. Like, yo, this niggas is wild. A nigga record himself throwing a grenade. Like, yo. Well, like, where do they get this shit from?
And it was shortly
Yeah,
after
I
this
got
that a
it.
conflict arose. The
I
rapper
got it.
Yo-Yo, along with young men known as Omerta and Slimmerin and a few others from Bredeng, cut off ties to the Bredeng elders sometime during 2023. Yo-Yo and his crew are considered the younger breakaways from the Bredeng gang. They also seem to have had a close relationship of some kind with a man known as Slice, who previously were close to the famous rapper Dre Low and belonged to the Husby Hyenas gang from the Husby neighborhood in northern Stockholm before the gang's internal conflict. The conflict between
Like, you can just, like, how do they get it? You can just buy it? Like, oh, is it like, well, it gotta be, like, illegal. Like, where do they get this shit from? Easily like that. And these niggas really, like, they just blow shit up. How much is it? How much is a grenade? Like, what? $30 for a grenade. Bro. These niggas got grenades for $30. Grenades for $30, bro. What the fuck? Yo, that's wild. At that point, yo, I'm still
between the Bredeng gang and Satra youths escalated in 2021/2022 when several weapons, grenades, etc. were seized in Satra, and the police believe that it is likely Satra youths who have stored these weapons for the Bredeng gang and thus mishandled their obligations to the Bredeng gang. A breakout from the previous leadership structures was seen within the Bredeng gang in 2023. Where prominent actors remaining in Sweden or released after serving prison sentences have allied themselves with the Foxtrot gang led by Raw Majid, the gang leader known as the Kurdish Fox. This alliance with Foxtrot, or released
It's
after
crazy.
serving prison sentences, have allied themselves with the Foxtrot gang led by Raw Majid, the gang leader known as the Kurdish Fox. This alliance with Foxtrot has not been seen within Satra youths. Instead, there is a connection between Satra youths and the number one ops for Foxtrot, the Dallin gang. Among other things,
wow.
2 individuals from Satra youths were convicted in the district court for aiding and abetting public endangerment that occurred in January 2023, where other suspects in the case have a clear connection to the Dallin gang and their allies 23 Street from the Farsta neighborhood.
Okay.
The Dallin gang and the Foxtrot.
Yo, so it's like there's like gangs in every neighborhood. Like, what the fuck? It's so many gangs and they're all connected or divided. It's like it's a bunch of it's like 2 main sides. Either you're on this side connected or this side, and then every side is beefing. Like how that shit works.
Gang has had a long ongoing war that has received significant mainstream media attention. Because of these alliances with
These
Foxtrot
niggas
and
got
Dallin,
real
both sides are
wars.
now believed to have access to substantial resources. Due to the tensions that have existed for some time between Bredang and Satra, which escalated since spring 2023, the police consider this conflict to be very much alive and was at its most intense during the summer of 2023, with 2 murders targeted at individuals connected to each side of the conflict. The fact that several weapons linked to both sides in the conflict were also seized during 2023 indicates a significant availability of weapons, likely depended on alliances with other networks such as Foxtrot and the Dallin gang. In the long run, it's possible that these gangs could also have been helpful in carrying out violent acts for the Bredang or Satra gang.
Yo, send it to the chat.
In the
baby.
preliminary investigation for a murder and attempted murder within the Satra and Bredang conflict aimed at the younger members of Bredang,
To the
a
gang
close
Victoria,
associate of one of the shooters and now convicted murderer
Alright,
stated
buddy.
that they were promised 25,000 euros by someone called Scarf from the Dallin gang to carry out the murder. On April 26, 2023, at 3:10 a.m., there was a report of a shooting in Satra, southern Stockholm. An apartment on the first floor of an apartment building in central Satra was shot at with more than 5 bullets. The shots hit the facade, windows, and entered the apartment where a family was sleeping. The shooting was directed at an apartment in Satra where a leading actor within Satra Youths lives with his family, according to the
Damn.
police. Prominent actors within the Bredang gang, rapper Yo-Yo's crew, can be linked to the shooting, and the police consider this an escalation of the already existing tensions between Bredang and Satra, now developing into a full-scale conflict. August 7, 2023, on Thursday evening at 11:07 p.m., calls came in about an explosion in a vehicle in Handen,
Damn.
located in southern Stockholm. The location is in an industrial area.
What the fuck?
When police and rescue personnel arrived, they discovered a shooting had taken place. 2 young men had been shot while sitting in a car, one of them dying from his injuries. According to the police investigation, Emery, the 21-year-old victim, believed he was there to deliver a small amount of drugs to someone.
Oh wow.
The victim was in the car with a close friend of the same age and a young woman.
Oh.
The victim sat in the driver's seat, his friend in the front passenger seat, and the woman in the back seat behind him.
Okay.
The group arrived at the meeting place around 11 p.m., stopped, and turned the car to face the street. 2 individuals, who arrived and left on an electric scooter, approached the car from behind on the left side. The woman noticed 2 guys near the car and mentioned it to Emery, who then opened the driver's side window. The 2 guys then fired multiple shots into the car with at least 2 pistols.
Damn.
The victim was hit by 4 bullets. The cause of death was a gunshot wound entering the upper left shoulder. His friend was hit in the thigh by a bullet and survived, while the woman was not hit. The investigation revealed that both weapons were fired from close range into the car, targeting the driver's seat, passenger seat, and right rear seat. So it was obvious that the shooters tried to kill everyone inside the car. One of the pistols used was found near the crime scene with
that's
DNA
fucked
evidence on it. In the indictment for the Handen murder, several chats in the Signal app on a Google Pixel phone between the aliases Belladonna and 1K were included. August 5, 2023, at 12:55 a.m., just 2 hours after the murder, Belladonna messaged 1K, "How'd you drop it, bro?" And 1K replied, "Bro, I was completely calm all the way, but Brashan was stressed, so I stopped to pick it up, but he didn't want to, but it went well anyway. We look on the bright side. The following conversation then took place between 12:56 a.m. and 1:02 a.m. Belladonna, did anyone get hit? 1K, bro, we smoked them.
I dare you
Damn.
to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store.
In a chat between Belladonna and Killer before the murder, there was a message in the afternoon of August 4th, 2023, stating everyone in the car must be extinguished. Among others, two 16-year-olds from Hallsberg were convicted for the murder and attempted murder.
16-year-olds, bro? What the fuck?
Kareem, one of the shooters using the alias 1K, was sentenced to 4 years in juvenile detention.
4 years? 4 years is crazy.
For attempted murder and murder.
4 years is
Jacob
crazy.
alias Belladonna was sentenced to 3 years in juvenile detention for aggravated weapons offenses, aiding and abetting attempted murder, and aiding and abetting murder. Jacob is also connected to the Dallin Gang hitman, now serving a life sentence for the balcony murder of a Foxtrot Gang-linked man on July 10th, 2023. He is also charged with being the shooter in the Melwrench school murder in Örebro, where a man was shot dead with 8 bullets.
That nigga's a shooter.
This
bro.
murder is also linked by the police to the Dallin versus Foxtrot conflict. Jacob and the life-sentenced hitman can be seen posing together in several pictures and seemed very close during the spring and summer of 2023. August 7th, 2023, on Monday evening at 7:12 p.m., security guards reported a shooting inside a mall. Inside Setra Mall, a shooter opened fire, discharging at least 7 to 8 shots at a 21-year-old man among several other mall visitors. Bullets also went straight into a store, forcing the public to flee. According to some witnesses, the perpetrator then fled the scene on an electric scooter.
They got abandoned.
The 21-year-old victim, who had previously been linked to the Setra youths, according to the police, was hit by multiple shots and died from his injuries. Reports indicate that there is surveillance footage showing the fatal shooting inside Setra Mall. January 28, 2024, at 7:48 p.m. on Sunday evening, police were alerted to Setra in southern Stockholm after a 30-year-old man was found shot with serious injuries. After the shooting, which occurred on the street, the victim reportedly ran into his home, asked his wife to call the police, and then went back outside, according to reports. The man had been shot multiple times in the upper body and was found outside by the police. Large quantities of drugs were later found in the victim's and the couple's home, as well as drug bags in his car. The couple was then suspected and arrested for drug offenses. February 10th, 2024, 2 men, both from Sweden, were targets in a drive-by attack at 11 p.m. in the Nueva Andalusia area in Marbella, Spain. The victims were walking on a sidewalk in an area popular with expatriates when they were attacked by a man in a balaclava armed with a pistol. One of the two required treatment at Hospital Costa del Sol for gunshot wounds to the arms and legs. Policia Nacional, in collaboration with the police in Sweden, arrested 3 people for their role in the shooting, as well as for illegal weapons possession belonging to a criminal organization, and document forgery. Police sources believe the shooting was the result of a war between rival Swedish gangs. March 7, 2024, at 11:03 p.m. on Thursday evening, reports came in about a shooting in Bredäng in southern Stockholm. A 26-year-old man was seen running through Bredäng with another person closely following him. According to reports, the man ran through the residential area to escape his pursuer, but outside an apartment building entrance, the other person caught up. The perpetrator fired multiple shots, hitting the 26-year-old first while he was standing, then when he was down, and at least one shot hit him in the head according to the police. The 26-year-old died from his injuries. In addition to this, there have been several cases of assault, shootings, and attempted murders related to the conflict. Do you want us to make a video about the biggest and longest conflict the Bredäng gang has ever been involved in? That story began in 2013 and was against what
2013.